the Federal Republic of Ethiopia. Please give him a warm welcome, as well as President Mahama as he approaches the platform.
Ethiopia possesses, as mentioned earlier, a vast and largely untapped potential clean energy. Recognizing the abundance, our energy policy embraces a thoughtful combination of hydroelectric, geothermal, and as well as wind power, and also a solar power. It is a deliberate policy choice not to put everything in one basket. We have made noteworthy steps in both power generation and transmission infrastructures. Our current installed capacity now surpasses 6,000 megawatts, and we are targeting 13,000 megawatts by 2028. When I was young, I was a before I joined a university, I served in one of the huge substation back then. It was maximum capacity was 100 megawatts. This is some 40 years ago. And back then, this is indeed a huge power that is presumed to suffice a country of back then probably about 35 or 40 million. But over the years, and as I mentioned earlier, with deliberate policies, we were able to put in place over 6,000 and just looking to have about 13,000 in about 4 or 5 years' time. Currently, we export also clean energy to Djibouti, Kenya, Sudan, and now set to export to Tanzania with the humble provisions of Her Excellency, the President. We're just eyeing also to export to South Sudan and planning to complete the preparation phase. Hopefully, I'm looking at Brother Adesani. That is something that we are considering when we look into this project, your generous support along this line. We have devised a Pan-African roadmap eyeing to connect certain countries in our regional energy connectivity schemes. One takeaway is that the cornerstone of our approach is active engagement of the entire citizenry. Ethiopia's experience proves that in as much as international finance is critical, mobilizing domestic resources, including the use of innovative financing, is very crucial, but the experience of the Grand Renaissance Dam, one of the largest dams in Africa, is a landmark achievement in African hydro development, exemplifies the principles of a whole of society approach. It is a $5 billion project. It's up and running. But out of the $5 billion, $1 billion is a public contribution. $1 billion. It is indeed very, very critical. As long as we galvanizing the society, they will definitely support in our energy improvement programs. So while acknowledging the strides that we have made in expanding access to electricity, we have still serious challenges to be addressed. Despite achieving an overall access rate of 54%, nearly half of our population, a staggering 60 million citizens, still lack access to electricity. I was fortunate enough to be a part of the energy access coalition within the UN system. I saw earlier my sister Damilelo and our mentor Rachel Kate, wherever they are. We thought back then in 2018 that access to cleaner energy was just simply a pipe dream for many of our emerging economies. But now we have reached to this level, and with the support of the international financing institutions and the philanthropy organization, that I see that it is feasible and it is doable. That's indeed one of the lessons that I can mention. However, to address this critical gap, we have set a national program achieving universal electricity access by 2028, which requires electrification of an average 3.4 million households annually. This ambitious endeavor requires substantial investment, demanding annual investment of $1.8 billion, amounting a total of close to $10 billion over the 4 or 5 years period. Furthermore, we face significant challenge of high transmission and distribution loss due to aging infrastructure. Enhancing the efficiency of our grid is paramount to ensure a sustainable and efficient delivery of electricity to all citizens. 3 key commitments. First, we have not only developed a robust policy framework, but also established a strong foundation for institutional reform to ensure efficient and effective implementation of energy infrastructure projects. Second, we have put in place a significantly improved environment for private sector engagement in the energy sector. As part of creating an increasingly attractive environment for private sector investment, we fostered conducive policies for public-private partnership and independent power producers. Our approach will be, isn't it, always be guided by the imperative of balancing between accessibility with affordability. Those who contributed over $1 billion to generate hydroelectricity would not expect to pay a high price. So this is a challenge, kind of a conundrum, where that accessibility should go along with affordability. Third, we pursue these endeavors in close collaboration, of course, as I mentioned earlier, with development partners, including the World Bank, the African Development Bank, and other leading financial institutions and philanthropic organizations. This strategic approach is clearly with a proven track record of success. We have done it with Africa Development Bank, not only on electricity, but also on other projects. Who would expect that, heat-resistant wheat farm, which we have never introduced in Ethiopia for many years, would end up taking to the highest level crop production in Ethiopia. Annually, about 170 million contributes with the support of and with some creativity, innovative approach with the African Development Bank. So, finally, initiatives such as Mission 300 are not only important, but also indispensable to the successful realization of our national development energy. We'll do our part, and we will count on you. My sincere appreciation, and thank you.